Well, this has really bad grammar. Okay, I've got nothing else to do. Baccano, best anime yet? We'll decide. Here's Anime UK. Also, if I look like I'm wearing something different to like the introduction or something or other, it's because I'm doing different video recordings at different times, so just gloss over that. So, back in 2007, this was released, Baccano, a really good anime which I'll explain later. But the only problem that's been happening with it is because over in 2007 it got overlooked by other anime such as Gurren Lagann, Code Geass and Bamboo Blade. Well, I'm not sure about Bamboo Blade, but the other two were more popular than Baccano. And that is no big mistake, because this is brilliant. Here's Baccano. Now, I can't really explain the story, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to read off the Baccano blurb and then explain it to you otherwise. So, here we go. A life of crime can last forever. Don't let nobody tell you there's no future in a life of crime, because some rackets can last forever. But we'll get around to all that immortality jazz later. A mafia turf war was raging on the main streets of the Big Apple, a place where regular Joes bounce between backdoors, booze joints and the Beltline. But this capper isn't about simple gangland brawls. It's about hoods who can't seem to die after catching a bird or live between the eyes. Sadistic hitmen and the dames they love. Band bombers going boom and monsters going bum, and soul-sucking alchemists bootlegging the elixir of eternal life. Sorry, but this is a really bad American 1930s accent. So, just read the blurb on the internet. Just remember, Baccano ain't about beginning and ends. It's about twists and turns, bub. Paths on crossing the story, Dick lied. Every Dick and Jane plays the lead, and it's going to be a bumpy ride.
It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Now, Baccano's story, in simple terms, is basically a jigsaw which is sort of half done for you. And the rest of the way you have to put it together and sort of experience along the way and see how all the things fit near around episodes 13. And it's a good way. They don't do this a lot in anime. It's usually beginning, middle, end. This is awesome. This is an amazing story plotline thing. This is brilliant. Its biggest trait is also its biggest failure, as in some people can get confused a lot and it kind of puts them away off the anime. I'm not saying this is a bad thing, it's just it's not their fault, it's the people. They have to sort of pay attention and not piss out at the last second. Ideally the story is really good, and if you just pay attention and you'll just get it, and it'll be so, when you realise how everything connects, it's so entertaining. So just please stick it out until the very end, even if you do get confused. Now in Baccano there's not really a lot of main characters, so the only thing I can say about them is that they're all unique and special in their own way, like a mother to a son. Basically every character has his own thing. Well, I mean killing is a sort of part of being in any character, but each character has its own sort of personal trait. Like Lad Russo is just a psychotic killer type person. Claire Stanfield's like a cool, like serial killer monster thing, and I'm thinking of other characters. Theros is awesome, especially played by Todd Haberkorn. That's so good. So I have three main characters in Baccano. I'm going to start off with the first two, which everyone always goes on about, Miria Harvent and Isaac Dion, who are the comic relief characters of this. Except not comic relief as in the normal comic reliefs, like Mako, annoying face from Kill la Kill. These characters are so good, and they're like an awesome duo act that they sort of, I know we don't have main characters in Baccano, but if they were, these would be them. They're the most seen and the most ones you want to like in this whole thing. Also, so my next, So my next favourite character is Yakuza's plot, and yeah, I know what you're saying. Oh, why do you like Yakuza's plot? He's a whiny little shit even when we still like him. I like Yakuza's plot because, so at first, I was just there thinking, and I heard his whiny voice played by, is that the person? No, not that person. Who is it? I can't remember. But he's his. So I start watching, and when I first hear his voice, I'm like, oh no. Oh no, we have a Shinji Ikari. This is annoying. But then, as you go along, you kind of learn why he's whiny, and that he grows from it, and that he has a reason for everything he does, and he's basically the opposite of Shinji. He actually does stuff. Even if he is being a whiny little shit about it, he still does things and tries to improve himself. He's a good character, even if his tattoo looks like it's been drawn by a retard. This show was brought to you by Brian's Base, who have recently done, this was after them, they've recently did Durarara and the second season of Spice and Wolf, which is one of my favourite animes. And the animation in it is so good. So you're trying to mix the 1930s with action, and I can see how it works in old action movies that you get nowadays, but in anime I thought it would have been a difficult thing to do. They do it spot on. They know how to hit that nail hard and get for the home run. I don't think there was a single moment where the animation was boring me. I was just stuck into it. I was watching it day and night, and I just could not take my eyes off it. Soundtrack is amazing. The opening song is amazing. The opening itself is good. And if we get to the question of the dub versus sub, dub. Throw the sub away, get the dub. I mean, well, they both come on the same CD anyway, but get the dub. The dub is fantastic. I mean, just listen to this.
Don't worry. If we ever got into a fight with someone, of course I'd win. All I have to do is think of your face and I'd fight like a madman.
Really? That's
Of course
incredible.
I would. From the time we started our little robbery tour, we've done 87 jobs from San Francisco to New Jersey. All of them have been interesting challenges. But have I ever once come close to putting your life in any kind of danger?
Only 87 times.
My point exactly, love. It's still less than 100.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right.
Also, a thing I would like to point out in the opening, like, so Brian's Base and Durarara have the same thing, as in the openings they like to present the characters with a catchy song, and they usually have their titles with a name in it. So like Maria Harvin, Isaac Dion, or Henri from Durarara, or Salty from Durarara. I can't remember the last names in Durarara, but there are too many of them. And the only thing I didn't like about Baccano's opening is that it sort of misregarded some characters, and also gave credit to some that didn't even. For example, the bit in the opening where it goes to the Gandor brothers. There was Luke Gandor, Keith Gandor, and the other one who I can't remember. And the other two don't have much screen time. They have a bit of it when Luke appears, but that's about it, really. I mean, there's other characters like that. The girl in green, I can't remember her name. Damn it. I think it's like Rachel or something, and she was more of a main character than Gandor brothers. She was there on the pussyfoots, and she was giving like an insight to the daily days and was being a good character. Apart from that, the sound is just fantastic and never fails. So in terms of personal enjoyment, this anime was so good. It never failed to bore me once or twice. I mean, it was a bit confusing in the middle, but I don't care. It was worth the wait. It was worth sticking till the end. And I'm ashamed that it was misregarded because of shows like Gurren Lagann and Code Geass. But to be honest, Code Geass is one of my favourite animes, and it was. You can't really blame me for watching it over Baccano as the popularity got more. But Baccano's good. Just watch it. Go watch it. Now the tricky thing to do here is try and find a bad thing with Baccano, because one of the things I don't like being is biased. I mean, I have to give my full review. I can't say if it's bad because I didn't enjoy it. I have to give a reason. So like, I didn't enjoy it because the character development was shit, and I didn't like it because it was just, the animation was just terrible. Episode 4 of Gurren Lagann, I think, yeah. And it was so difficult trying to find it. And to be honest, there isn't. there isn't actually anything wrong with Baccano. Not at all. I mean, the only people who don't like it is the people who don't like popular things, and we call those people pricks. Baccano, I give this a 5 out of 5, and a recommendation of you should buy it now. Go to wherever, go Amazon searching Baccano, buy it. Buy the shit out of it. So that was it for today, guys. I've been William Lee Britannic Anime UK, and I'm sorry if I've been a bit extravagant in this show, but this is really good, and it's probably in the top 10 somewhere, or at least in the top 25, and it's something there where I can't explain into words how good it is sometimes, and I do recommend you watch this. So I'll see you next time in the next few reviews of the whole Full Metal Panic series. So see you then. Bye.